Nuri Sahin had a solid present and a promising future. In 2005, the Borussia Dortmund midfielder made his professional debut and became the youngest player in Bundesliga history. Months later, Sahin scored his first goal, making him the league's youngest ever goal scorer, a record he held for 15 years, until Florian Wirtz broke it in 2020. That summer of 2005, Turkey, a country with little youth-level international success, pulled off a stunning victory by winning the UEFA U17 Euro. Unsurprisingly, Sahin was named the tournament's most valuable player, before leading his national team to the semi-finals of the U17 World Cup in Peru. But Sahin didn't stay as a mere promise. 5 years later, he won the Bundesliga with Jurgen Klopp's spectacular Borussia Dortmund. That season, he contributed with 6 goals and 8 assists, and was named the Bundesliga Player of the Year. At that point in his career, Real Madrid signed him, and that was the end. Sahin was 22 when he joined Jose Mourinho's Real Madrid, a team that season that preferred Xabi Alonso, Loussana Diarra, Sami Khedira, and even Esteban Granero over the Turkish star. Sahin played only 126 minutes the entire season, his only year at Real Madrid and the beginning of his decline. He was loaned to Liverpool and failed in the Premier League. Madrid then sent him back to Dortmund, just 2 years after signing him on a 6-year deal. But the damage was done. At just 24 years old, Sahin was a burned-out player who couldn't recover. Not at Dortmund, not at Werder Bremen, not at Antalyaspor, where he ended his depressing career. In 2009, Real Madrid signed Xabi Alonso from Liverpool, a midfielder who came through Real Sociedad. After that successful deal, Madrid tried to find the next Xabi Alonso. His name was Asier Illarramendi. In 2013, he was named La Liga's best midfielder. He was 23 years old and cost 32 million. It's unfortunate that before fans even learned how to pronounce his 5-syllable last name, Illarramendi had already returned to Real Sociedad for half the price Madrid had paid, 16 million. Illarramendi lost half his market value in just 2 seasons. But truth to be told, he lost much more than half his football in Madrid. Football he never recovered. 10 years after getting Xabi Alonso right and 5 years after getting Illarramendi wrong, Real Madrid once again went to Real Sociedad for a star. In 2018 it was Álvaro Odriozola, a Spanish national team right-back who never played for La Roja again after joining Madrid. Odriozola was 22 years old and, like Illarramendi, cost 32 million. He never managed to take Dani Carvajal's spot, and when Carvajal was injured, Zinedine Zidane would rather use Nacho, Lucas Vázquez, or any of his 5 kids before letting Odriozola play. He was loaned to Bayern Munich, where he played a miserable 179 minutes across all competitions. He was then sent to Fiorentina, where his value dropped so much that Madrid accepted the 3 million Real Sociedad offer to buy him back in 2023. For many years, one of the biggest criticisms of Fiorentino Perez was his reluctance to sign a striker who could take some pressure off Karim Benzema. Eventually, the president gave in. In 2019, he paid 63 million for the best striker in the Bundesliga that year, Luka Jovic from Eintracht Frankfurt. The 21-year-old Serbian forward was deadly in front of goal and technically gifted. His 36 goals and 9 assists in 75 matches in Germany seemed like enough evidence. But Jovic spent 3 years at Real Madrid and scored just 3 damn goals across all competitions. Taking into account how much he cost, how long he stayed, and what he was sold for, Jovic is like the third less profitable signing in football history, behind only Romelu Lukaku's Chelsea return and Antoine Griezmann's Barca adventure. Jovic not only failed in Madrid and left for free, he also never got back to his level. Not in Frankfurt, not in Fiorentina, not in Milan, and not anywhere his career may take him. In 2007, Fernando Gago was the crown jewel of Argentine football. He had just won 2 league titles and a Copa Sudamericana with Boca Juniors. His elegant style was exactly what Real Madrid needed after suffering through clunky midfielders like Pablo Garcia and Thomas Gravesen. Gago was 20, cost 20 million, and got injured at least 20 times at Real Madrid. 2 years in, it was already clear he'd never be what they hoped. So Madrid signed Xabi Alonso. Gago ended up a bench player when he wasn't injured. After 4 seasons, Gago was loaned to Roma in 2011. 1 year later, Madrid took a miserable 3.5 million from Valencia just to get rid of him. Valencia thought they were getting the deal of the century, clearly forgetting that cheap often ends up costly. Just 6 months later, 26-year-old Gago was back in Argentina for good. And that was forever. In 2005, Real Madrid didn't just sign a footballer, they signed a beast. Julio Baptista was 24 years old, 1.85 meters tall, weighed 90 kilograms of pure muscle, and had dominated La Liga with Sevilla. He had also won the Copa America 2004 and Confederations Cup 2005 with Brazil. Baptista seemed like a sure thing. He had scored a ridiculous 50 goals in 84 games with Sevilla. Crazy numbers for a midfielder. But Madrid wasn't the same. Not even close. Baptista played 78 games for Los Blancos and scored just 13 goals. He was loaned to Arsenal and sent back. Madrid ended up selling him to Roma for 10 million, half of what they paid. And even in Rome, the beast didn't wake up. He was sold on the cheap to Malaga, where he still wasn't the same. At 31, Baptista went back to Brazil with Cruzeiro, had a quiet spell in MLS with Orlando, and ended his fall at Cluj in Romania. Robinho was once called the new Pelé. In 2002, he won the Brasileirão and ended Santos' 34-year title drought. He later led them to their first Copa Libertadores final in 40 years, since Pelé's days. In 2004, he won another Brasileirão and was named Brazil's Player of the Year. His transfer saga with Real Madrid finally ended in 2005, when Robinho joined the club at the age of 21. But his first season disappointed. 8 goals and 9 assists across La Liga and the Champions League. He's just adapting, people thought. But his second season was worse. 7 goals and 6 assists. He rebounded in his third year with 15 goals and 12 assists. But there was no fourth. Fiorentino Perez sold him in 2008. Back when City was, well, like today's Crystal Palace. Some say Robinho only agreed to the move because he thought there was only one team in Manchester. By the time he realized the truth, it was too late. Robinho flopped at City, failed at Milan, and his decline was dramatic. From a return to Santos, to China, to Atletico Mineiro, and finally to small Turkish clubs Başakşehir and Sivasspor. At 20 years old, Royston Drenthe was Clarence Seedorf and Edgar Davids rolled into one. Real Madrid signed him after he won Best Player at the 2007 UEFA U20 Euros. Drenthe played 65 matches over 3 seasons, mostly as a left back. He was Cristiano Ronaldo's teammate, made tons of money and blew it all on parties, a sports car, and getting women pregnant. Drenthe's fall was so steep that the only team who wanted him was Hercules of Alicante. He played a year for Everton and, at just 25, ended up in a Russian club called Lania Vladikavkaz. 4 years later, he retired from football to chase his real dream, hip-hop. Under the name Roy Two Faces, he had even less success as a rapper than he did as a footballer. Antonio Casano was 23 when Madrid signed him. He had put up incredible numbers at Roma: 161 matches, 52 goals and 27 assists. Casano joined Real Madrid in January 2006, the last signing of Fiorentina's first presidential era. Casano was the worst player at the worst possible moment. Madrid was a mess, and Casano was the least likely person to fix it. He spent 2 seasons at the club, scored 4 goals, 2 in La Liga and 2 in the Copa del Rey, and gained 14 kilograms in just 7 months. Speaking of players who gained weight in Madrid, Eden Hazard. He was just 28 when he arrived, and Madrid hadn't signed a superstar in 5 years, saving up for the Bernabeu's new roof. Hazard's job was to replace Cristiano Ronaldo. Juventus paid 117 million for Cristiano. Madrid paid 121 million for Hazard, even though he would have been free a year later. But Madrid got impatient and didn't realize Hazard had no hunger for glory. In his final Chelsea season, Hazard had 21 goals and 17 assists. In contrast, in 4 years at Madrid, across all competitions, he managed a miserable 7 goals and 12 assists. In 2000, Madrid signed the Antichrist. In 2001, Zidane. In 2002, Ronaldo. In 2003, Beckham. In 2004, the new Galactico was Michael Owen. The 2001 Ballon d'Or winner was 23 and had scored 158 goals and 51 assists for Liverpool. He was also England's hero at the 98 and 02 World Cups. But Owen only lasted 1 year in Madrid, enough to ruin the rest of his career. He drifted off to Newcastle United, then faded for good at Manchester United and Stoke City. Some players bounced back. Van der Vaart found form at Spurs. Walter Samuel shined at Inter. Odegaard at Arsenal. Theo Hernandez at Milan. Danilo at Juve, Kovacic at Chelsea, and Huntelaar at Schalke. But this ranking focused on those who joined Madrid young and, after failing there, were never the same again. And the poster boy of this unfortunate group is Kaka. He was 27 when Madrid ruined him for good. In 6 brilliant years at Milan, Kaká scored 96 goals and provided 73 assists, averaging 16 goals and 12 assists per season. The 2007 Ballon d'Or winner joined Madrid in 2009. In 4 disappointing seasons, he delivered just 28 goals and 40 assists, an average of 7 goals and 10 assists per year.